Welcome, everyone. We're happy that you're here today. We're going to give everyone a couple seconds to get in the session and join us. Good to see all of you slowly trickling your way in on what is in Chicago, a beautiful Thursday afternoon. I guess you could be from all over the state today, so you might be from just about anywhere. Okay, so before we get started with the session, I'm just going to go over a couple quick housekeeping announcements. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see them. And then I'm going to pull up my script. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. My name is Mary Alice Berg, and I will be your facilitator for the Lakeview College of Nursing session today. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements that you can read up on the screen. You can all use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to the presenters at any time. Everyone in the audience, your camera and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So the only way to interact is through that Q&A box. This was just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule and watch previously recorded videos at IACAC.org. And last but not least, this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, IACAC.org. I am now going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to my presenters. Enjoy, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nigel Givens. I'm the admissions recruiter at Lakeview College of Nursing, and we'll also have Amy McFadden, our coordinator of marketing and recruitment, join us as well. Here at Lakeview, all we do is nursing. So what that means is that we are a four-year institution for college juniors and seniors where they get their Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and their RN license. All of our students are transfer students. So that means once you graduate high school, you will go to any other four-year university or community college as long as it's regionally accredited, and then you'll transfer into us for your nursing major. About 88% of our first-time NCLEX takers, which is the state board for your nursing license, pass it on the first time. About 91% of all of our qualified applicants do get into our program. And that's really important because we actually have two campuses, one in Danville, Illinois, about 2.5 hours from Chicago, and another in Charleston, Illinois, about 2 hours from St. Louis. Because we have those two campuses, typically we don't have to wait list a lot of our students. So our job is really to work with you when you start taking your college courses so that when you do apply that you're strong candidates. Both of our campus locations offer a lot of great amenities. We have really great skills labs, which basically they mimic a hospital or medical environment. Anything that can happen in real life, we can simulate it in those skills lab with our adult, pediatric, infant simulators. It's really cool. Once Amy talks to you a little bit, her background will actually be from the skills lab. We also have conference areas and student lounges. All of our classes are currently in person. So that means that we're following all CDC guidelines, social distancing, and state guidelines as well. But we are not a hybrid program, and our students are going to classes, labs, lectures, and clinicals. For classes, our student to teacher ratio is about 1 to 15, and for clinicals, it's about 1 to 8. A little bit about our program before I show a video from some of our students about why they chose Lakeview is that we have our traditional BSN program where you come in as a junior or a senior with your prereqs and general eds, and then you finish our program. But we do also have several tracks for licensed practical nurses, LPNs, and registered nurses as well to get their Bachelor's of Science degree. The great thing about our program is that once you graduate with your Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and your RN license, you're going to be really recruited by hospitals and medical facilities because the more degrees and the more licenses you'll have, the more you can do in the field. Also, hospitals are going magnet status across the country, which means they receive more money when the majority of their nursing staff has their Bachelor's of Science as well. Next, we'll have this video from one of our, actually several of our students about why they chose to go with Lakeview.
Nigel, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we couldn't hear that video at all. So I'm not sure if we could do something different for the next one.
I think at the bottom of your screen under the like sound button, if you hit the caret and go to speaker, you should be able to switch it to like your computer speaker that it's sharing the sound with us.
And you said it's carrot, a carrot? Yeah, I'm sorry. I am not seeing that. We'll see if we can go back and play it towards the end. After Amy, after you present, I'll check to see if I can find that. But going forward for some of our admissions requirements, I did mention that all of our students are transferring in. So we ask that our students complete their 60 credit hours of general eds and pre-required courses, that our students have a 2.5 or higher for their cumulative GPA, and those are for college level courses. So we're not looking at your high school GPA, we're strictly looking at your college GPA. We're not looking at SAT scores or ACT scores. We're looking at that college information. We do have our students take the HESI entrance exam, which is basically a test that covers your reading, your math, and science skills as well. One of the great things about our program is that we are really working with our prospective students so that when they do apply, that they are ready and going to be great candidates. So we provide different lists and transcript evaluations to know which courses to take, and then we'll work with you to make sure that you're in the right courses. Right now, I'm showing an example of a transfer guide. So we ask that you take your English composition 1 and 2, speech courses, anatomy and physiology, chemistry courses. One great thing that you can do as high school students is that if your school is offering any dual enrollment or AP credit courses, definitely see if you can take some of those, because that can really help you complete some of your required courses. And also, if whatever math and science classes, those are really going to be used in the nursing field. So if you have an interest for that, definitely look into those classes now. Next, I have a video, and hopefully this one will play correctly, from one of our students telling you about her experience and why she chose nursing.
Okay, hopefully you could hear that one a little better. I'm not completely sure, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started with some of the other The other information about nursing opportunities, basically what Hope was saying towards the end of that video is how many opportunities there are within the nursing field. The really cool thing is that you can match almost any interest that you have with a nursing career. So there's everything from, teaching nursing to psychology to community health nursing to working with computers. There's a field of nursing that involves, all of these fields and so much more. You can work with different age groups ranging from OB to pediatrics to geriatrics. You can work in many different environments, everything from hospitals to clinics to home health to corporations and businesses. You can work in different specialties such as cardiology or oncology or women's health. It gives you about the most flexibility of any career. So where else can you touch lives from the moment of birth to the moment of death and virtually every time in between? There are emergency room nurses, flight trauma nurses, rehabilitation nurses, psych nurses, critical care nurses, long-term care nurses. There are neonatal nurses, forensic nurses, informatic nurses and nurse midwives, nurse practitioners, nurse anesthetists, lots to choose from. And you'll see that many of those things are kind of highlighted on the bottom of this. It's also worth mentioning that nursing is the largest healthcare occupation with more than 3 million jobs. I'm sure that many of you have seen and heard about what a need there is for nurses right now. So it's really a fabulous way to, can make a contribution to the world at large just by caring for others. They're also the largest number of new jobs, and the earnings are definitely above average. You'll see on this slide, we give you an idea of what the salary range is for an entry-level nurse with their bachelor's degree, ranges between 51 to 82. We'll show you there, but we want to go on next and take a look at more about different types of nursing beyond bedside. I think a lot of people think of nursing in that regard, but there's a lot more to it. Nurse Blake is on YouTube, and he's very popular. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and hopefully the sound will work well. So we'll let you enjoy the video here.
What's up, guys? I'm Nurse Blake, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you the different nursing opportunities beyond the bedside. So, there are so many different jobs out there for nurses. And a lot of times when we think about nursing and nursing jobs, we think about hospital jobs at the bedside. These are typically 3 12-hour shifts. But if bedside nursing's not for you, and that's okay, there are plenty of other options. Now, there's so many great opportunities that I'm not going to be able to cover every single one of them. So if there's something I didn't mention, make sure you drop that in the comments below and let us know what that job is so other people can learn about it. Number 1, case management. These are nurses who act as social workers. So what's up, guys? I'm typically 3 12-hour shifts. But if bedside nursing's not for you, and that's okay, there are plenty of other options. Now, there's so many great opportunities that I'm not going to be able to cover every single one of them. So if there's something I didn't mention, make sure you drop that in the comments below and let us know what that job is so other people can learn about it. Number 1, case management. These are nurses who act as social workers. So they do participate in the patient experience from admission to discharge. And really they're connecting the patient with outside resources. They're communicating with the healthcare team on the discharge plan, and they're really the facilitator. This is mostly a job in the hospital, but you can also find this job in the community-based setting as well. So clinical case manager is such a great experience because you still get to work with patients and be a part of the healthcare team. Next, we have research nurses. This is such a cool job. I know many of my friends have been research nurses and they love it. So they help the physician and patients work together on clinical trials. So they're asking patients questionnaires, they're researching different medications and procedures and reporting on it. So if you're interested in research, and if you were one of those kids in nursing school, you love the research component, research nurse may be a good fit for you. So check it out. School nurse.
Perfect. Okay, so that gives you a little more in-depth look into some nursing careers, and obviously there's a lot more out there. So just search for nurse jobs beyond bedside if you'd like to see more from Nurse Blake, excuse me. One wonderful thing about our program is it's designed to give you insight into several areas of nursing. So this slide provides an overview of our nursing curriculum. It covers everything from foundational courses like medical surgical nursing and health assessment, and then it builds on that knowledge that you gain going into each level of the program. It also covers things like OB and pediatrics, psych nursing, gerontology, community health, and leadership and management. Each course has a lecture, lab, and most have a clinical component as well. And we offer support for you at each level so that you can be successful. We have tutoring available for all lecture classes and open lab times with our faculty lab coordinator in case you need a little extra help with the hands-on part of nursing. So within our lab, we also have those high-tech simulators that Nigel mentioned earlier. They're basically computerized patients. The wonderful thing about these simulators is that they allow our faculty to make sure that you get each and every experience that they want you to get with a patient. I mean, certainly with live patients, you can't predict what kind of health issues they're going to have. So even though you're doing clinicals in a live clinical situation, you know, you just don't know if they're going to be experiencing certain conditions. So these simulators really give us the opportunity to make sure that any and all conditions that they want you to have experience with, you can have experience with while you're here in the program. I believe there's about 200 different health conditions that they can program into the simulators. So it's a terrific learning tool. And as Nigel mentioned, we have simulators that are adult size, infant size, pediatric size, and then we also have a birthing simulator as well. So that's also something really cool to see. Our clinical sites for the live hands-on experiences are located within about a 70-mile radius of whatever your home campus would be. Nigel mentioned that we have two campuses, one in Danville, Illinois, and the other in Charleston, Illinois. We tend to use OSF facilities in both Danville and Urbana, as well as Carl Foundation Hospital in Urbana. In the Mattoon area, oftentimes we use Sarah Bush Lincoln. So if you're from those areas, you might be familiar with those facilities. And there are several others, but those are the primary ones that are used each semester. The curriculum works in many different ways. You have your option of how you want to move through it. The most popular options that we have for students are either the traditional track, which is a 2-year option, and then the accelerated track, which basically takes about 1.5 years and includes a summer semester. So you'll see on this slide that it's presented within 4 different semesters. As Nigel talked about earlier, you have all the prereqs and things that you do on the front end of the bachelor's degree, the general education courses and such. And then once you get into the nursing curriculum, this is how you would move through that. So whether that be straight through all 4 semesters, or if you would do a couple semesters, take a summer off, and then do another couple semesters. So hopefully by now, you know that you would like to be a nurse. Maybe you've already been really sure of that. And if you're not, that's certainly okay too. Usually the next question that people have is regarding cost. So we have a little bit of information put together on that for you. We wanted to be sure to let you know that the way that we charge tuition is a per credit hour fee. So you're only paying for the courses that you're enrolled in. It's not a straightforward full-time fee. It would be based solely on the number of credit hours that you're enrolled in during that semester. And we also charge the same tuition for everyone, regardless of where you live. So that's also nice to know. There's no such thing here as in district or out of district or in state and out of state. It's all the same cost regardless for us. Financial aid and scholarships are definitely available to those who qualify. The financial aid process begins with filing a FAFSA. Now is a wonderful time to do that for the next academic year if you're a senior this year. So if you plan to begin college next year, please talk with your parents about completing the FAFSA during this month or hopefully next month. And then that way you shouldn't miss any of the funding cutoffs or deadlines. Once we receive your student aid report, we'll be able to give you more of a personalized estimate of what your cost for Lakeview would be. It's also a great thing to fill out that FAFSA for scholarship purposes. We do require that all students have that FAFSA on file or that free application for federal student aid in order to potentially qualify for scholarships. We have several different scholarships available. Some are for high school students, some are specifically for transfer students, and others are for current students coming in. It's more about the timing of when you apply for those scholarships. So you'll want to check out the criteria and so forth on those to see if they might be a match for you. The high school scholarships have a value up to $4,000, and the transfer scholarships have a value up to $20,000. And most scholarships for our current students range between $500 to $2,000. But the big message I definitely want to give you today is to please, please, please take the time to apply for scholarships. There's a lot of money out there to help, but it can't be awarded if you don't apply. Oftentimes we are really urging people to apply because, sad but true, there are sometimes scholarships that go unclaimed because nobody who applied met the particular criteria for those. So we want to make sure that you have every benefit and every opportunity in front of you. You'll see some statistics on this slide as well that give you an idea of the amount of students who received financial aid during the last academic year. It was nearly 84% of our student body received financial aid, and almost half of our students received a scholarship out of those who applied for scholarships here at Lakeview. If you would like to take a closer look to see the value that we have to offer in our bachelor's program in nursing, we definitely would love for you to reach out. We have many opportunities for you. We are now conducting private tours, which you can do on one or both of our campuses, obviously with COVID protocols in place. We also have a virtual tour, or you could book a virtual meeting with one of us, with or without your parents. We'd certainly be happy to talk with whoever has questions about the program. Speaking of which, I think at this time we're going to take a look and see if there are any questions that maybe you have asked during our presentation. Let's just take a quick look here. See what we find. And looks like we might be good right now, but you certainly obviously have the opportunity to ask questions later on, as I mentioned. So on a final note, we just want to say that, remind you that nursing is all that we do. It's our entire specialty. So we certainly hope that if you're interested in nursing, you'll definitely take a look at our program. A bit closer look at our program. Thank you for joining us today, and please visit our website or contact us for more information. You'll see that on the slide here. The website is lakeviewcol for college.edu, or you could email us through admissions@lakeviewcol.edu. We certainly look forward to getting to know you a little better so we can help you reach your goals. We want to wish you a wonderful rest of this beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for attending. Again, like Amy said, please visit our website, lakeviewcol.edu. And we also have a YouTube page. So if you want to hear some testimonials from our students, check us out on there as well. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for a great presentation. I know that we all learned a lot. I just have a couple housekeeping announcements, so I'm going to share my screen one more time. Thank you for joining us, to my audience today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very short 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Last but not least, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for to review additional sessions at IACAC.org. Otherwise, I am grateful for all of you who attended today, and thank you so much. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.